Code hoppers.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Ditch jumpers.
Yoink!
Club swappers.
If money talks.
And coach killers.
Every fucking week.
That shit refereeing and everything else rugby league.
Welcome to the Grapple. Johnny, what a great intro.
You like that one, mate?
Yeah. I feel like that's like the name of if the NRL made like an album or something. That's
So
the
code
name.
hoppers, ditch jumpers, club swappers and coach killers.
Yeah. Yeah, hoppers, swappers, jumpers, killers.
Ditches, yeah.
That's fantastic.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm Joel Spreadborough. Johnny Manning is here coming up with the words, and you are wearing...
Look at what I'm wearing.
What
Check
are
it
you
out.
wearing? That's awesome. I'm going to tell you straight away, that looks battle-worn, and it looks like it was worn in the year 1997.
This is game-worn Super League apparel, mate. I actually forgot I had this. It does have a mark on it, which...
Whose blood is it?
Look, it's probably not blood, but I'm going to say it is.
Yeah.
So, there's every chance it's not blood. But this is, 97. This is an old... I think this is an under-19 jersey for when I was playing Super League 19s for the Cowboys.
Awesome.
It smells like a 27-year-old jersey.
Yeah, good maths. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but it's cool. I like it. I like bringing out these old ones. You just seldom see the big S these days anymore. You know?
Yeah, look, it's funny. You said that I forgot I had it. It's like sometimes the NRL's like, forgot that we had that league.
Well...
But
That's
it changed
right.
the game in so many good ways.
It was the war that had to happen. Golf's going through it right now. Cricket went through it. You know, it happens. The AFL and the NFL merged to form the NFL and the Super Bowl. That's how the Super Bowl started.
Yep.
The American Football League taking on the winner of the National Football League.
Hello.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
It's pretty good. That spawned from it is a 17-team competition that is so good that administrators and power brokers are confused on a weekly basis, convincing themselves that it should be so much better. And we're going to talk about that again today on the Grapple. We're going to talk about snivelling apologies. We're going to talk about code hoppers, as you mentioned as well. There's been a big one of those, a couple of club swappers as well, ditch jumpers, massive bit of ditch jumping. Huge ditch jump.
Like that's the biggest ditch in the world, isn't it?
Pretty much the Carl Lewis of ditch jumping.
And this is not even clean Carl Lewis.
No,
this is
full
heavily
blown,
medicated Carl Lewis, like circa 98 soul.
The juiciest version of Carl Lewis.
Like the dirtiest race that was ever run was the 100 metres at Seoul.
Yep.
And Carl came second.
Picture
was awarded
him,
the gold.
Yeah. Picture him jumping that 100 metres, because that's what this is.
Who now has that gold medal? Because all 8 finalists can't have it.
Yeah.
Pretty much every semi-finalist can't have it. There'll be someone who didn't even qualify, for the semi-finals, who ran like a 13-second 100 metres.
He's still running.
From Uzbekistan. He's now been awarded. They just keep taking it off people.
Congratulations. Yeah. You've got one. Hey, when that happens, you got to give it to someone else. Just ask the Bulldogs. That was painful. Too soon? 20-odd years too soon?
22 years later.
22 years. Okay, we're going to talk about a number of items, but I want to start with just mentioning tipping, because I think last week we had a bit of a better week in the tips.
You did.
You went all right, didn't you?
I went okay. I mean, we both got the Roosters.
Yes.
We both got the Broncos.
Yes.
We both got the Storm, although far out. That was dicey there for
wasn't
a moment.
it just? Ooh.
We'll probably talk about the Dogs a bit later on.
We should talk about the Dogs because
they're starting to all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you need to do on the footy field.
Yep.
Everyone does the same thing. Yeah, you think it's going to be okay.
Things start to come together.
Yeah.
Dare I use the word slightly unlucky? Not that that's a word, that's 2 words. I'm going to use both of them.
You could call that a phrase or a term.
A term, yeah. Phrase. I feel it's slightly unlucky.
I use the phrase. We'll cut that.
Yeah. There's a promo for next week. Johnny's just stepping off set here on the Grapple podcasting. Okay, good. You got the tools.
Yeah. Joel,
Yep.
Okay,
cutting there. There's our edit point for the biggest promo this show has ever had. Bullshit obstruction calls, drop goals, games in Darwin. It's all here. Let's start with the biggest news to come out of Penrith.
And that's not a cut put, Wiz. That was just my shtick.
Yeah, that was just part of the
let's just
part of the magic.
Carry on.
Yeah. James Fisher-Harris.
Whoa!
Wow.
Massive.
Gone. End of 24. Warriors. Beckon.
That's the ditch we're referring to, that Fisher-Harris is jumping.
Big ditch. Really, really, really big. So this is, okay, it's not just thanks for serving out your contract, you've been great. It's you still have 2 years to run on your contract. You've won 3 premierships, but you came to us this week and said, I just need to go home.
Well, here's the thing. When did he come to them?
Apparently this week, but I'm saying no.
Not a chance.
That has happened
but
months ago,
I
surely.
will say, but okay, this is the beauty of Penrith at the moment. Can you remember, maybe a week ago, I sat there and I said to you how unbelievably eloquently spoken and succinct the Panthers players were about what happened on the field. There was no more, full credit to the boys. We stuck in there. The forwards went forward, and they just gave me the space to do my job. That's all I do. It's my job. I just turn up and I just play off the back of the boys. They were so fucking succinct and so direct. They didn't waffle. They spoke about specifics. This is just another, I guess, indication of that club doing everything right because it hasn't leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Rugby league, as we know, leaks like an EA Falcon.
100%. Usually the motivation to leak is it comes from within, inside the walls.
But this is just everyone's gone, oh my God. But this is how contracts should be announced. It should take everyone by shock.
I agree.
And this guy's current golden boot holder.
Mate, he's on $1 million a year.
He's their forward leader.
So this is great. Look, good on you, the Warriors. They needed to replace Adam Fanua-Blake. I believe we started this podcast with that conversation about the whole Fanua-Blake leaves in the Warriors. Well, how good. Here you go. Have the Kiwi captain. You'll be right. But for Penrith, this frees up close to $1 million.
And you know what? They've lost over the last couple of years. Let's go through it. Burton, who was a premiership winner and Rookie of the Year and an Origin player.
Crichton.
Who else did they lose?
Huge loss, Crichton. They're losing Luai next year, of course.
They're losing Luai.
They lost Kurt Capewell.
They lost Kurt Capewell. Who else did they lose after who else played for Penrith?
Royce Simmons, he's gone. He retired.
Is Royce gone? Or is
no, I think he's considering hanging up the boots.
New South Wales Cup.
Steve Carter's been dropped. He's gone.
But look, they're just going to find someone to fill the gap.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they are, right now, what Melbourne Storm
Leniu, of course. Spencer Leniu. Big loss.
They are Melbourne Storm.
Yeah.
They'll just go, okay, hey, we wish you all the very best. Go be close to your family. You're 28. Going to earn some quan.
It's about the system. And I love this because the Warriors and what they're building under Webster. And Webster was, of course, in the Penrith system himself, being an assistant to Ivan for years. But I think great for Fisher Harris, absolute stalwart. He's going to be great for that club, tough as they come, all of that. Opportunity here for Penrith, though, because there are a number of players that they could look at, Kenty. And I got one that you're going to love.
Now, who are you referencing there?
I've got a text message on my phone, Kenty, from a player, a leading player manager.
I can't tell you who it is, but
Stefano Uitukamanu
has an option. He has an option in his Tigers contract. This is a good little clause here. I'm sick of the shit. If they don't make the top 8 this year, I have a get out clause. At the moment, Benji Ball's like, well, stay put because watch this space. But they got this cash to spend. This guy is an absolute gun.
He's a rampaging front row at the moment.
What happens if someone like him joins that Penrith system? This is wild speculation. Don't worry about 360. This is 720. This is 1080 speculation.
What's after that?
See what I did? Yeah. Don't ask me that. 1440.
1440.
Oh, got it. 1440. See how I bought myself a second to think about it?
Yeah. That second internal monologue is going to carry the one and get that out.
You know what it is? It's an 1800. This is an 1800.
Wow.
Big news.
Yeah, it's huge news.
It's one to follow, but they're going to need to replace James Fisher-Harris. I love the idea. I always sort of, you need to make a decision about your club, where you're going to be, to stop this sort of shit becoming headlines in the busy times of year, I think, as well.
Yeah, and he's asked for a release. Penrith have granted him a release. So obviously they know what they're doing as well.
Yep, okay.
They know what they're doing.
They do, and they've got the silverware to prove it.
They do.
And
I've just got him up on Wikipedia, Fisher-Harris, and got club years 2016 to now, Penrith Panthers. It's already got 2025 New Zealand Warriors on Wikipedia.
Of course it does. Wikipedia. I love that. You know what? How many first grade games has it got there?
183.
2 minutes after the full time of his next game,
184.
jump on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Give it
I-
two.
I-
Give
I
him
once,
2 minutes.
I once played a game with, I don't know if you can do it now. I was on New Year's Day, I was a little bit hungover, and I was with a buddy just over here in Albion or something like that. And we played this game while having beers of how many Wikipedia pages we could change and how long it would take
Yeah.
to get to change back.
Yeah.
So I changed like, the Bible and reference him in it. And I'd put his name in there and I'd go, okay, look up the Bible real quick. And he'd read it, piss himself laughing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it reverts back.
Yeah.
And we were just changing so many different Wikipedia pages.
Oh, that's
It's a fun game.
hilarious.
It's a fun game.
It is a fun game. I remember someone I worked with had his own. He made his own, wrote his own. And I won't say names or anything, but someone got in there and sneakily put at the end, person X is generally disliked, unpopular, and has terrible body odor, which no one at work wants to tell him about. And it stayed there for quite a while.
Oh, no.
And it was quite funny.
What are the rules?
I don't know.
Yeah. We'll find out and come back to you what the rules are. Hey, we didn't quite finish. We went off on Fisher Harris, the tipping. So the
yes.
Storm, the Waz, which I don't know if I didn't say it on this, but I did say it to a certain person at work. I thought that was the hardest game to pick of the weekend.
It was a hard pick.
And rightly so, it was a draw. I picked the Cowboys
Yep.
just because I always do. And you know what? They should have won that game. It's a disappointing loss for them. That's one that got away,
Yep.
in my opinion. But hats off to Para. Sharks, pretty much always in control. Never really out of that control, but South Sydney did turn up.
Mm-hmm.
We both got that. I went the Tigers, you went the Dragons.
Yep.
Dragons are going to be 1 week on, 1 week
Aren't
off.
they just rocks? And yep, 100%.
And we thought the Raiders would put the cleaners through the Titans, but
Wow, I've got another thing I want to talk about on that too.
well, let's do that now.
It was dramatic.
Should we go there now?
It was highly dramatic.
It was drama abounding.
Can I just ask you a question?
Please?
To have a war of words,
Right.
to have a heated argument or confrontation, do you need... So two people are having a heated war of words. Do they need to be speaking to one another or in the same room or audible to one another at the time of this heated... Okay, it can happen over the phone.
It can
Happen
happen
over
through the
headphones?
media. Can they have a war
Can
of
they have a
words?
war of words through the media?
I think so.
Yep. Okay, so they're publishing their response, they're publishing theirs?
Yeah,
okay. What if they're not saying anything directly to engage one another? They're just disagreeing on a general point.
Well, that's not a war of words.
Okay, so Ricky Stewart and Des Hasler didn't have an indirect war of words after that game.
All I'm saying is that the F word was said, Kenty. The F
Yeah,
word.
but I don't. What?
So the story is Des came to talk to Ricky to say, I'm going to give the ref a bath. And apparently Ricky said, fuck off.
Yeah.
Or, don't know, said something regarding that.
Yep.
Des came in and he gave one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard.
It was a good quote. Can you do it in Des' voice?
No, I can't. I wish I could.
Yeah, I can't.
But he came out and he said,
We just tried our
he said,
best
oh,
out there.
I won't bring it up. They'll present it to us. The hard running Graham Annesley. The hard running Graham Annesley. That had me on the floor. On the floor. And then Ricky comes out and says, under his breath, oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Des is on another planet. Well, the hard running Graham Annesley has come out and said, Des is right. Chevy
He was offside. Yeah.
Chevy Nova was
Yeah.
offside. But then he says, it shouldn't have been a penalty in front. This is, oh my God, his description. That's why I keep saying, get Annesley away from a microphone and the media. Just leave him be. We gave you options.
We did. We can give you more.
We gave you Nabel. We gave you Russell.
Yeah, we did.
Who else could it be?
This guy right here.
What would he say? How would he describe Chevy being offside from that play the ball?
Offside, Chevy was.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
I'd listen to that.
Penalty goal, it is not.
Could it be Sean Connery?
Oh, that's an interesting one. What would that sound like?
It could be something like give me a minute. Yes, well, you can see that at the play of the ball, Chevy's feet are in front of the line, so he's clearly offside. Could be something like
That's
that.
fantastic.
Would you listen to that?
I think so. And then Harrison Ford comes and he's like,
The NRL rulebook belongs in a museum.
Look, this is all absolute nonsense, but that is the point. That is the point. These criticisms and this after the fact, yeah, we got it wrong, but then the coach is still getting turned into absolute king.
But then he said it, and Annesley goes, it wouldn't have been a penalty, it should have been a 6 again. Okay, let's look at the timing of this, right?
Yep.
Chevy's offside. By the time the ref goes 6 again, the drop kick's taken and it's charged down and the ball is in the Raiders' hands. What fucking good is a 6 again to you there?
It means nothing.
And then he goes on to say, in that case, it'd be a penalty. No, mate, because he shouldn't have even referenced the 6 again. Because in that situation, it's a penalty. It's happening at breakneck speed. He's kicked the ball, gained no advantage. It's charged down, and the opposition get the ball. That's a fucking penalty.
Yeah.
Why is he even bringing up the 6 again? And you know what? Give it 6 again. Maybe old Fozzie does kick a field goal, the poor buddy.
Oh, it's just... Have they got another drop goal option?
But in saying that, I'm not saying the Raiders should not have won that game.
No.
Win the game, you know?
Yeah, sure.
But... Jesus, this garbage that's going on.
Annesley went on to say the other question was asked.
What's
I love
the
it when
other
he opened it by saying, I love how he
Please
opened
quote
this.
this guy.
Where he goes, I want to talk about an incident last night when Kieran Foran attempted a field goal. It's almost as if he's saying, so if anyone's not comfortable with this subject matter, please leave the room.
It's almost...
we know what you're going to talk about.
It's almost like him saying, you might not know about this, but this is a small little point that I've picked up. Fucking,
You've picked it up. No one else has noticed it. So the other question is why the bunker didn't review that. So he went to at pains to explore the penalty goal versus, whatever. The bunker can't review 10 metres compliance, and there's a very good reason of that, because in most parts of the field, depending on where the play of the ball is, remember this is Graham Annesley delivering this information, there is no lines to assess. It's almost impossible.
To assess.
No lines to assess there is.
Who is offside or not.
The force they must trust in.
What if it's Liam Neeson from Taken? You will be onside.
These players possess a particular set of skills. It is almost impossible in between lines to determine whether players are in front of the referee.
If you don't get onside, I will find you.
Or not.
And I will kill you.
It's just that simple, Graham. Anyway, we will keep throwing options at them. I get it. I get the clarification. The rules are there. I get it. And you can explain them. You can quote the rule book and all of that kind of thing. These things happen in the moment. Des Hassel's there going like, thanks so much. That duck egg.
Yeah.
That duck egg is growing. The shadow of that duck egg, it looms larger every single week here at the Titans. Who... Let's give a hat tip where a hat tip is due.
They were great. They were really, really good.
They were resilient.
And, Fozzie had to take the drop goal because no Jaden Campbell, no Tanner Boyd. Like, they're down on troops.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should
have given it to Fafita. Lou Ferrigno. He would have
Lou Ferrigno would have smashed it over.
Anyway.
He would have shaped a drop kick. They know would have got terrified that he was about to kick it. It would have been like the Mighty Ducks. Yeah, it would have been like knuckle puck time.
Yeah.
And then they all go and hide and he just runs and scores.
Yeah.
Can't believe they didn't do that.
Anyway,
we love it. We love it. Rules are rules. They're there for a reason. But gee whiz, whatever you got to do, whether it's working out where the bunker can make these sort of adjudications on the day, maybe having a bit of a play with that could be a thing. I don't know.
The obstruction rule continues to be a complete blight on the game of rugby league, in my opinion. Because
is there a quota? I want to ask you, we have to call at least 5 obstructions a game quota?
Obstructions only count when tries are scored.
Oh, okay. All right. So too many points. It's not a good look for the game.
If you're coming out of your own end, there's no obstruction. But as soon as you put the ball down, fuck, he's obstructed. And this whole inside shoulder, this guy didn't get an opportunity to just be better as a defender. I mean, this is not me preaching to other people because missed more tackles than I made. But be a better defender.
I think you make a really good point there. You've spoken a lot, and rather eloquently, I will say, about the injury toll and the strain that is being put on players.
It's still huge
this year. So when you add to that hesitation and uncertainty around these kind of calls, that is not lessening that risk. When there is a little bit of, I'm not 100% sure if I should go in for this or if I should hold back, that's not a helpful ingredient to the cocktail that we're seeing already.
This vicious cocktail
It is a vicious cocktail.
It's crazy. So
It's a hippie shake.
Murray Talangi's probably got another 4 weeks on the sideline with a hamstring.
It's crazy.
I saw someone else is out. I mean, I don't have the. I haven't. I mean, I went so deep into it last week. I don't want to do this every week, but there's just too many guys not playing. Like, I think Cody Walker's been ruled out. Has he? No, Sam Walker's been ruled out.
Sam Walker's gone,
like,
for sure.
Come on, man. Like, we want to see our best guys play.
Of course we do. So that is absolutely confirmed. And you know what? This is funny because I'm actually Googling as we speak. NRL.com itself is calling it an all-star casualty list. So state media is telling us that, yes, our very best are not playing football.
We'll call that the Ministry for Propaganda.
Won't we just? My goodness. Who's proofing this? Can we just have a look at your headline? Because it kind of goes against...
Hey, look how fast the game is. This guy is over here going, have a look at the injuries.
Couple returning this week. Jason Saab, Garrick, Nathan Brown, Matty Lodge. Back for Manly for now.
Statesman of the game.
So look out. Anyway, Sam Walker.
Hey, Michael Jennings won't get celebrated for his 300th game. Welcome back, Matt.
You know what? Here we go. Here's a scenario for you, NRL. Roosters and Manly play the grand final, okay?
Do they get rings?
The Roosters win it, but in a losing side, he gets the Clive Churchill. So Matty Lodge gets the Clive Churchill, but Michael Jennings gets the Premiership medal. Have fun with that one, NRL.
Love it.
Big Nelson's back for the Storm as well, so it's good to see that some of those big names are returning. But for everyone that returns...
Another one drops.
Many more to go. Anyway, we'll see. Now, someone who will be there but ultimately won't be there is, of course, also from the Roosters, Joey Manu, 2-time Premiership winner. Absolute superstar. He's one of those players that you see the game coming up against the Roosters or the Kiwis, whatever it is, and you just go, shit. He's the sort of guy. It was like JT back in the day against the Broncos. You just know.
He's so good.
He is so good. And you know what? I'm going to say this could be controversial for everyone who wants players to stay. I get it. Go and get your money while you can, young man.
And you know what? I'm not sure what the selection policy is of the All Blacks.
Get him in there.
Get a fucking jersey, man. Get a gig.
They would, surely the selection policy is if you're playing the code and you have a registered professional contract, you're eligible.
No, a lot of them have residency.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think New Zealand do. I don't know.
They're not as bullshit as the Wallabies have been.
No,
in
the
this
Wallabies
regard.
we've loosened
improving.
Up. England are the worst. If you don't play in the championship, you can't get selected for England.
Okay.
Owen Farrell is taking money to go and play for Racing 96. So he forewent the Six Nations. He can't play for England because he's playing for Racing. Now he is 33 or something, but can't do it. He's not playing in the championship.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what the Kiwis. It can't be. They should be able to have foreign players.
Yeah,
I would think.
Interesting thought. This.
But,
I'm trying to rack my brain and think of an example, but
I'm sure they do. I think. Anyway,
if you're signing like a player like this, All Blacks HQ, the hierarchy, you are well aware of this.
Jordy
man's
Barrett
talents.
is the current incumbent Kiwi All Black number 12, right?
Yeah,
he's 6'5",
huge unit,
monster, right? He's just signed with Leinster in Ireland.
Yeah,
Joey Manu would be some kind of number 12.
Ooh. So okay,
he'd be a great 13. Rico,
Yeah,
Rico Ioane's about the best.
I was going to say, who of those two do you?
But maybe he's number 19, number 20. Imagine bringing on Joey Manu in the back end of a rugby union game, going, mate, just have a bit of a roving commission. Just go there and create havoc.
Yeah. It's already 60-0, Joey, so just go at 40% for us today, and that'll be heaps. Look, we'll see how he goes at Toyota The Blitz.
But we're both happy, stoked.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. We applaud the code hoppers because they're hanging their balls out there.
Yep, they are.
And they are taking a huge risk. Yeah, they're getting paid, granted, but they're risking their legacy. So good on you guys. I'm all for the code hoppers. Go do it.
I'm for make the most of your opportunities and your talents, and if they are flattering you with their interest, you'd be silly not to talk to them.
Can you imagine the sushi he's going to be eating over there all the time?
Mate, the
amazing
ramen,
food,
far
ramen,
out, yeah.
shabu shabu.
I want to be there right now.
Joey.
Now, the other big signing this week was, of course, the club swappers. So we've had code hoppers, ditch jumpers. The club swappers, of course, Zach Lomax. The biggest story to not have a final answer got its answer, of course, that I think everyone saw coming.
4 years?
4 years at Para.
2.6.
A couple of bucks.
So he's given up a few bucks.
Look, there's already talk about... now that he's signed, all the noise about Zach Lomax, disgruntled Zach Lomax, bad for the game. Now he's signed the deal, and within 24 hours, it's like, Origin for Lomax? What do you reckon? Now that he's settled himself?
He's almost been their best player all year.
He always has been in that frame.
He's unreal.
Yeah, 100%. But now that this is done, it's like, okay, we can now start talking about him as a legitimate football player again.
Yeah.
He's been that all along. He's taking a pay cut to go somewhere where he can play a position that he wants to play, believes he can play.
Riddle me this. He's going to play... So they've put Bailey Simonson on the wing because they dropped Sevo, didn't they? Sevo didn't play in that game on the weekend. He played New South Wales Cup. Am I correct?
Did he get dropped?
I believe so.
Okay.
So I'm looking at this Eels team now. Gutherson, Simonson, Penasini, Harper, Sean Russell, right? So Lomax just comes into that number 4 where Morgan Harper is. Is that right?
Yep.
So Bailey Simonson, who was playing in the centres, is happy on the wing.
Apparently.
And then Mike Acevo is his time done there?
Well, that's interesting.
So he's on an extended bench.
I didn't think he'd been dropped to the... Yeah, okay.
So he did play New South Wales Cup, I believe.
Out of favour.
Yeah. Interesting.
Just not the guy.
But I mean, that's a pretty formidable back line when you get Mitch Moses, Dylan Brown, Sean Russell's actually a pretty good winger.
He is a good winger.
Then that becomes Zach Lomax, Will Penasini, Bailey Simonson, and Clint Gutherson. I think Penasini and Simonson are good players.
Okay, so you're keeping Simonson.
Yeah.
You're keeping Penasini, and your Harper's got to make way.
I think Harper goes.
Harper's got to go.
Hey, Morgan, love you, but Zach Lomax is coming in.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll find another.
You know what you're saying?
What?
Harper,
get
out!
These guys are Green Berets from Fort Bragg. I knew these men.
No, I forgot the line. What? I knew these men. What were they doing here? That's it.
So you cooked up the story and dropped the 6 of us in a meat grinder. What happened to you, Dylan?
What happened to you, Dylan?
Used to be someone I could trust.
Does Zach Lomax play State of Origin for New South Wales?
Where
would you put him? I love it because there's so many players in the frame, so much so that Madge got a group of them together this week. Michael Maguire, incoming coach. Look, I get break the ice with your players. Do it. But calling every player from every club and extended, candidates as well to go and meet in Sydney to have a bit of a powwow. What are you talking about? Are you talking about game plans?
No.
Are you talking about we all need to get on and be friends? What are you talking about? This is the sort of standard I want to set. Can you do that in an email?
They want to... And this is not being glib.
Yeah.
This is a fucking fact.
Please, yeah.
They want to Queenslandify Origin in New South Wales. And they have to.
Yeah.
Right? Because, there we go.
Here you go.
Say that.
Here's the one thing you're missing in that quest.
Exactly.
Anyway,
but they need to do it. They have to do it.
Yep.
And Madge has turned around and said, okay, I want guys in form, but he's also talking about character. Now, I heard one of the talking heads said, you don't win State of Origins by walking around bare feet on grass.
Oh, that's a little bit direct, isn't it?
That's an indirect war of words. A heated confrontation.
You're calling him out there, Kenty.
I sat in a panel once. Didn't sit in a panel. I was watching a panel, and it was a New South Wales Origin dinner. So you had Freddie up there. You had Brett Mullins. You had Timmy Brasher. Block legends.
So awful players, all
legends
of them.
up there, right?
From a Queensland perspective.
And Jason Croker was up there.
Yep.
Tootsie, one of the greats.
Yep.
And he said, we're talking maybe 2000, maybe when Gus was coaching, 2000. Gus coached in 2000.
That was around the time of the Robbie Kearns.
No, that on the horse. That was Junior Pearce coaching.
Junior Pearce, okay.
So this is Gus's coaching, and they are all at the Coogee Bay Hotel. And it's night one at camp.
Yeah.
And Gus says, all right, boys, we've got training in the morning. Be on the bus at 9 o'clock sharp. right? And everyone's okay. He goes, but tonight, go out and have some beers and don't come home until you love each other. All right? So, okay, it's the old school bonding session.
Yeah.
So they go out, they go on the tear, and Mullins and Croker are good mates.
Yeah.
Canberra boys. So they've gone out and they end up at the casino. And they're there till God knows what hours.
Probably 8:55 a.m.
So anyway, and it might be 7 in the morning or 8, might not be 9. But the team's all on the bus and they're doing a head count and they're like, where's Tootsie and Mullo?
Uh-huh.
And apparently, as the clock clicked over with every tick of the clock, more steam was coming out of Gus's ears, right? And then all of a sudden a cab pulls up, the two fellas jump out, look at the bus, 2 minutes, run upstairs, put their training gear on, get back on. Apparently you can hear a pin drop on this bus. Gus is just sitting there fuming.
Yeah, it would have been.
You know, can't be late.
Livid.
Apparently he gets up and he calmly says, he's told you to be here 9 o'clock, don't be late. What happened? Apparently Brett Mullins, probably still full, goes, yeah, well, Gus, we were sitting there at the casino at the blackjack table, and I looked over at Toots and I said, I don't think I love you yet. Apparently Gus started pissing himself laughing, and he said, everyone off, and they went straight into the Coogee Bay Hotel for day 2.
Oh, wow. that was training.
So maybe that is what maybe Madge is looking for something like that. Maybe.
Oh, gee, good luck achieving that in 2024. I wish him all the best.
Yeah.
I really do, but far
But
out.
I think he's looking for character. He had apparently had a spine meeting with Blake Brayley and Nico Hines.
Brayley was the big inclusion there. We're going, okay, yeah, we like this.
So my contacts at Cronulla have been saying he's ready for Origin for the last 2 years.
Yep. Very good contacts, I will say.
My contacts at Cronulla.
Yep.
Yeah, they've been saying this guy is probably an Origin hooker.
Your shark's in the pool.
Yeah, but then you're looking at Cook, right? Arpey, Reece Robson.
Yep.
Mitch Kenny. Right?
Yep.
Panther hooker who's doing great.
Doing great. Love him.
Obviously, Blake Brayley. Wade Egan is absolutely fucking killing it for the Warriors. They got some hookers, these guys.
They do. The Souths players politely declined the invite. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind. Look, you've got players coming from travelling distance to get there or whatever, but the plight of Souths at the moment is sort of like, it's a massive trip. And that traffic, honestly, at Oxford Street, when it gets...
Was it at Coogee? Is that where they had it?
I believe so. That Mate Moore Park Road, honestly. Once you get to 2 p.m, just forget about it.
Cleveland.
Take a good book.
Cleveland Street's a bitch.
Don't even get me started on that lane. Where you get off onto Dahlia's. Just forget it. I get it. Don't go. I also do have a very strong thought that if you're putting this together, make sure everyone can come. Find a day and time. But get them there, maybe.
But the bunnies are under siege, right?
Yeah, they are.
So I'm okay with it. They're going, hey, look, appreciate it. We'll be there in 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
So that goes back to the original question of is it better to have it in 6 or 7 weeks when you're actually starting
you've got
to
have
talk
it
about
now. And he might have had phone conversations with these guys.
Okay.
You know, if the bunnies guys, they're looking at Trell, Cody.
Yep.
Who else? Who's another blue? Campbell Graham. Oh, he's out for the season.
He's out. Yeah, he's done.
So, those guys have been there before. You know,
get him in. Okay.
And to your earlier point, does Lomax fit into that? Does he take a wing spot in Origin? So Addo Carr's got to be one.
He's got the ability.
Your 3 and 4 are going to be Turbo and Latrell.
Yep.
Your 1 doesn't matter who they pick.
Is it going to be Latrell? Are we sure?
100%.
Yeah. If fit, he's picked.
He's picked.
Is he fit? Is he on the field? Because he's having
he's having a
disgruntled year.
Enforced layoff now, but you pick the guy.
You got to pick him. Of course you do.
100%.
It's not his, suitability to be picked or his ability. Just if he's going to be in the space at the time.
I would say he gets picked. Him and Turbo when they team up in the centres. That's terrifying.
Just that game in
Townsville.
I wasn't even going to bring that one. I was going to say Adelaide. I wasn't even going to say Townsville. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Jason Demetrio, who'd be a coach? You say it all the time, but I tell you what, you've been jobless. Then you get that little...
Kenty, got a text message here.
You don't. It's just common knowledge that he's bought who knows how long, but at least a little while of not having the vultures circling.
What a fucking horrible position
it's awful.
to be in.
It is absolutely awful. And what is even more awful about it is that if they go out and get beaten badly this week when they have the bye, If they lose the bye this week, that conversation changes.
That's it. The Titans might lose the bye.
They're done. No, okay, so they got the bye this week, have the week off, get those very important 2 points, but then you're coming back and you are playing the Storm at home on Anzac Day.
Yeah. Are they playing the Storm on Anzac Day?
They are.
What happened to the Warriors Storm tradition?
It's not there.
How am I not only knowing about this now?
Thursday the 25th, yeah. So
Is that right?
Yeah, Warriors are playing the Titans also on Anzac Day.
Huh.
Yeah.
I always thought it was Warriors Storm.
It was for a lot of years.
So is it still St. George Roosters?
As far as I know, they are. Well, yes, they are absolutely playing on Anzac Day as well.
I really like the Broncos Anzac Day jersey.
It is a good jersey.
It's the Anzac Square in Brisbane. Looks bloody great.
Really lovely.
The Queensland Reds, Rugby Union again, they just unveiled their Anzac Day jersey. It looks awesome.
They're really, really, really nice designs. Yeah. Really nice designs. The Broncos will host the Tigers that day, or that weekend, that Saturday. Okay. But we've got a triple header on Anzac Day. And anyway, Jason Demetrio has pulled that little card of reassurance.
He's brought David Ferner in.
Yeah. Is that what? Give me your summation of this whole. What is he thinking right now, John? At this very moment, what's he thinking?
Well, he's thinking he needs potentially some stronger voices in the coach's room, I think. And he's thinking, okay, I've lost Wayne Bennett, but he lost Wayne Bennett 2 years ago, right? 3 years ago or 2 years ago, whenever it was. So
3, because he did the prep year at the Dolphins.
Prep year. Yeah. So JD's in his 3rd year, and he's looking at the team and go, okay, maybe they're a little bit sick of hearing my voice. Ben Hornby, as I said, he could be a master tactician, but to be an NRL head coach, you've got to command a room. You cannot just walk in and be wishy-washy in what you say. It's like in any management position, what you say may not always be right, but say something with conviction.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you can retrofit that to be right. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can sort of say, hey, this is what we're doing right now. And if everyone goes out and does it, you're probably going to have success, right? Mm-hmm. But you've got to have that presence to command the room. Now, David Ferner, man, what a player. Oh, my God. He was unbelievable, Ferns. You know, he's an Australian schoolboy rugby union player with Jason Little and Tim Horan. And then he went on to obviously represent Australia and New South Wales in the second row. Mm-hmm. One of the greats. He's had a lot of coaching success. He was in the Cowboys system when they won the grand final. He's spent a lot of time under Sheensy as well. He's been around and about. And I'm not sure if he's the guy who was sitting there yearning,
incredible CV,
yearning to be a head coach. I don't think he's that guy.
That would explain things because
I think he's had a bit of head coach experience in caretaker roles, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But Fernsy's a no-nonsense guy. Fernsy once punched 7 shades of shit out of Shane Webke.
Wow.
In a state of origin.
Yeah.
And he has always been regarded as the guy, you don't mess with Fernsy. He can hold his fists up.
Yeah.
So he's a no-nonsense guy. He probably wouldn't take shit.
Okay.
And he'd probably call a spade a spade. So maybe he's just, okay, I need to bolster my staff by getting someone in who's going to be a little bit more direct with these guys.
Yep.
And I can be a good cop. He wanted to bring in a bad cop.
I really, really well described there.
Maybe.
Yeah. He probably needed someone. He needed it. Okay. Someone that can get in there and say to those guys, we will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. You fumble the football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts, and then you will run a mile. Perfection. Let's go to work. That's Herman Boone from Remember the Titans / David Ferner. Remember the Rabbitohs.
Boone. Who's your daddy?
That's what they need.
Who's your daddy,
Who's
Gary?
your daddy, Gary?
Gary? Who's your daddy?
That's what they need. Okay, no, look, really well described because there's so much talk about this when there's that senior figure. We've spoken about it before, Seraldo and Gus. And in that case, it's a no-brainer of, hello, senior figure who's done everything and is technically
what do you think of this?
Higher than me at the club and knows the game. What do you reckon? That's okay. In this case, I need another voice because my grasp on the room has slipped a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm willing to acknowledge that, and I'm going to bring in someone who is an absolute Terminator.
Yeah,
I'm basically bringing in Liam Neeson.
Yeah. I'd like to talk to you all about the game of football.
If you miss a tackle, I will find you.
You need to improve your particular set of skills.
Okay, very, very good, Johnny. Let's talk tips. So we've got, we're going to Darwin. The Dolphins, I think their maiden trip to Darwin, I believe.
It's still going to be freaking hot up there.
It's very hot. I want a really deep question here.
Yeah, hit me with it.
What do you think of games of football in Darwin?
Yeah,
you okay with it?
Absolutely.
You like the footprint in Darwin?
And I think the good thing about that is Darwin is very, very rich AFL territory.
Yes.
And once again, I'm a huge supporter of all sports. Why can't we all just get along?
I agree.
We all need to just get along, right? But if we want to potentially have some sort of footprint up there, let's go play games up there.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not talking about, we need to kick the AFL out. No, we just go play a few games up there. If the AFL aren't up there, let's take a weekend.
Yep, okay. Para have done it for a number of years.
That's the Para's deal with Northern Territory Tourism.
Yep.
I think it's like a 5-year deal.
Take the games up there.
Yeah.
They always seem to get a pretty good turnout. There have actually been some really good contests. There have been some shockers, and usually it is that humidity and the sweaty pill that comes into play. Yeah. But there have been some really decent games up there as well. I think it's a road trip that the clubs don't seem to mind going on. It's a bit of a early year
sweaty
adventure.
pill. I think the players have got sweaty pills when they're up there. You know?
I think sweaty pills play a huge part in the fortunes of NRL teams.
So can Batfers.
In Vegas. Okay, very good. So we like it. So, okay, we are looking at, and I should mention for the record, I am wearing a old school
Look at that.
Redcliffe
Stand up.
Dolphins.
Show me that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I will. So this is Redcliffe Dolphins. It's a training shirt.
Yeah,
the old Village Motors
paraphernalia.
Dolphins. Just from a couple of years ago, the last time they played that grand final when Katoni Stags and whatnot were there. Don't ask me for the year. It was a couple of years ago now, not that long ago,
I'm
though.
struggling with that year.
Yeah, it was a good game. They won it well. Shout out to Crusher and all the guys and girls at the Dolphins. I'm talking about the Redcliffe Dolphins,
Not
the
the
Queensland
NRL
Cup team.
Dolphins.
They're great too, but shout out to the hardworking team at the Dolphins, 1948 and counting. Crusher, Murphy, all of you. You know who you are. Great work. Okay.
Yep.
I had 8 from 8 outside of here.
Yeah. It's good. It's amazing.
Not here.
Not here.
And also, technically, I've just realised it was a 7.5. Because you can't... What's the rule on a draw? But there was a draw. We had a draw. We saw a draw last week.
I like draws.
Draws
Nothing
are
wrong
great.
with draws.
I
More
love
draws.
a good draw.
How about the way it got to a draw, though, with Josh Aloia's charge down attempt on Shawnee Johnson? Penalty? I suppose it is.
Yeah, yes.
I suppose.
Within the bounds of...
Rule section 27.3
Yeah,
clearly states.
Can't do a lot
It's
these
marginal.
days, can you?
It is extremely marginal. And this is what I'm talking about with obstruction, with all of this shit, is it's planting discouraging seeds. It's planting seeds of hesitation and reluctance.
Every time someone kicks the ball now, it's like they've caught a mark in the NFL. As soon as you catch the ball and you shape to kick it, everyone,
Yeah.
can't go near this guy, can't touch him. Everyone goes, it's every contested kick is now a free catch.
Yeah.
That's horseshit.
It's the season of the disruptor.
It's horseshit.
It is. It's the season of the disruptor. Roosters and
Told you I
Storm.
didn't want salmon. This wedding is horseshit. I don't like it. This whole contest kicks. If someone's going to kick the ball, guess what?
Yeah.
You may get belted.
Yeah, it's on the cards.
I don't, fair enough that the legs, I understand if he's got one leg in the air, you can't dive at his plant leg and all that sort of jargon, but,
it's so hard. And this is the thing, even with like everyday plays. There was that tackle in the Broncos game last week, and someone tackled someone without the ball. They tackled them on suspicion.
Milford smashed...
Milford, yeah, that's right.
He smashed Walsh off the ball.
And it was like, sure, it's but...
That's a penalty.
It is, of course, it's a penalty. But 100%. For some reason, they look so much worse now because we've all got in our head that all of these interpretations and rules are so fucking harsh.
Right, and okay.
I've seen worse hits.
And players start running in now. So
everywhere.
someone cops a brush over the face like that. 5 years ago, it's play on. Now, same force, exact same action. Everyone runs in and starts jersey jostling and pushing.
Yeah.
Fucking come on,
It's
man.
just
like some of these things are accidental.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like Milford, he's He hasn't made a lengthy on-field career of agitating and disrupting.
No, but that was a penalty.
It was absolutely a penalty.
Shitty, what he did.
It was absolutely a penalty. I just thought incidents like that, for some reason, have turned into
There's some terms they start using on the field, right? So there's kick disruptor.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to disrupt that situation.
Yep.
I mean, the name of the game in rugby league is to disrupt people.
Yeah.
Duty of care. That's a legal term. I think am I crazy or have I banged on about this a couple of weeks ago when they talked about duty of care?
We spoke about duty of care.
It's a legal term.
Yeah.
But it's on the footy field, you got a duty of care.
At breakneck speed. Yeah.
It just bothers me.
Yeah.
You know, they bring in this terminology which just isn't sport. It isn't high speed collision sports.
Yeah.
And we apply this terminology to it. Kick disruptor.
I was watching the Battle of Brisbane, which, by the way, I'm sorry to say, it was an absolute fizzer. Let's be honest. The first 5 minutes were... Here we go. But it was a shit of a game. And my wife was watching it with me, and she's not a massive footy. She tolerates football. Yeah. But she even said at one point there were 2 or 3 set restarts in pretty quick succession. And she goes, for fuck's sake, why can't they just stop for 30 seconds? And like that, these players are going to get... like. She actually said something along the lines of the back of this game is going to be really boring because they're going to be absolutely exhausted. And then she paused and goes, or injured. Are they getting injured? And I was like,
Is she listening to the grapple?
Have you been listening to the podcast? Seriously though, honey, have you been listening to it? Like it's like 9 episodes in. She goes, what are you doing? You're doing what?
What podcast?
You grabbed what? But look, it was really interesting from a super casual observer that your takeaway from watching 5-10 minutes of that football was wow. The game was so quick. Even that as a shit game, when it was good, the passages of play were quick. The play of the balls were quick. Yeah. The way some of those bigger forwards are getting up and playing that ball is an absolute testament to the training they're doing, the conditioning, the discipline, all of it. And then it gets fucked by this.
So much drop ball in that game, it made me sick.
Oh, it was awful. It was.
Imagine, yeah.
Wayne Bennett sitting there just going, oh my God, do we need to fucking glue their hands to
unreal.
the ball? Like.
And now the hammer's out for a couple of weeks.
Okay, so I think I texted you that night and just said your conversation, your revelations, your research from last week was only proven further by that game because bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
They were dropping like flies in that game, weren't they?
And she, again, I'm going to mention the wifey. My darling wife said that because that was a nothing play. Of course, Corey Oates, the try was called back. He didn't need to make the effort.
No, exactly.
She made the comment that, he the next thing he did, he was going to get hurt anyway because he has not stopped moving, changing direction, getting hit, all of that shit. And I was like, yes.
And then he wasn't. Do you remember there was that part just after he'd made that 80-metre run when Brisbane were on the attack, and I think it was his Stags side. So Stags has got the pill. Coates has got a clear run of the line.
He was nowhere. He was.
He's like,
oh, what about? Katoni, go the other way. Dummy. When he was coming back after that no try, he took so long to walk back.
He was mortified. He was like, oh.
Just give me a second.
I'm not throwing stones.
No.
The dude's jacked. He's ripped up. But this game's so fast. He's so buggered. Hasn't been playing regular first grade.
Exactly. He threw on that effort on top of a game that's already... And that's what happened to Hammer.
There was a game in 2000. In 2000, it was Olympic year. They brought the NRL season forward by a month to accommodate the Olympics in September, right? So round one is like mid-February. Mm-hmm. We went down to Penrith. They allowed us 2 extra reserves because of the heat.
Generous.
And we had water breaks at 20 minutes for the first month, right? So we go down to Penrith. I'm going to tell another story about that game, but I won't tell it now. So we go down to Penrith that game, and I'm number, 17, 8? I'm number 19, right? So we've got 4 reserves, and we've got me and I think it was Mussy, who just called before we went to air, as 18. So, we go through the warm-ups and everything, and the guys are on the bench, and I'm basically sitting in the stand, a row behind, like this.
Yeah, feet up.
I mean, I'm not going on.
Just chilling, yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going on.
Yeah.
I'm at number 19. I'm not going on. Yeah. Anyway, just looking around, looking at the crowd, Penrith crowd back then, they'd swear at you and everything. About 7 minutes in, Brett Hetherington, legend, collides with Johnny Buttergear. Ouch. Another legend.
Yeah.
and ruptures his ACL.
Ooh.
Right? So he goes down with a knee injury. And Sheensy's turning around going, Mano. I'm like, me? Right? Let me tell you the football I'd played that year. We'd had a trial game in Mackay, one trial game. I was on the bench for reserve grade in that trial games, came on and might have played 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
After that game, they called me up and I was on the bench for first grade. I think it was against the Northern Eagles. Might have played 20 minutes in that game. Maximum, maybe 10 minutes in that game because Tim Mander sent me to the sin bin. The right honourable Tim Mander.
Vote Tim, there you go.
And so I go on to game one of the year with bugger all footy under my belt into this first grade. And I remember coming off and I was breathing so loudly when I came off that the club doctor sprinted towards me. And he grabbed me. He was like, "What's wrong?"
Defibrillator in hand.
Exactly. He's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, I'm fucked. And he's like, "Is that it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just knackered." He's like, "All right." I was like,
Okay.
Anyway,
Corey Oates.
so Corey Oates, you get the pass mark, brother.
Oh, he was cooked. But this goes back to the point anyway. That whole thing, that whole chestnut of efforts on efforts on efforts, and then going for an 80-metre sprint and either doing your hammy or taking 5 minutes to walk back and get on side. I remember the commentators like, gee whiz, Corey Oates is going to need to get his skates on here. These Dolphins have spotted that gap out wide, and they're going to attack down that side if they got half a win about them. Like, yeah, shut up. He got there. He was fine.
Yeah,
Didn't matter the game.
But Paddy Carrigan gave him a big old spray.
Didn't he give him a
for not being there?
Yep.
Anyway.
Roosters versus Storm.
Okay, Roosters versus Storm. What a game.
Huge Thursday night football. In Sydney, it's at Moore Park.
Okay, my rule of thumb with tipping is always tip Melbourne.
Yeah,
always.
You've said that. That's your money ball tip.
I think
you'll win more than you lose.
I feel like the Roosters might get them this weekend. I feel like that.
Okay.
Just let me have a quick look who's in and out. Tupanua's out for the Roosters. Tedesco's back. Yep, Roosters.
You like the Roosters? I like the Storm.
Okay.
Some fantastic matchups, I will say, in the Dragons and Warriors. And one of the greats is Zach Lomax at centre up against RTS.
Okay.
You want to stamp your blue credentials? Do it against RTS.
The Wars get that.
Ravalawa versus Montoya. Great. Good matchups.
My name is Indigo Montoya. Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Prepare to die.
Stop saying that.
Kurt Capewell.
Yeah.
You happy with him?
Yeah.
So far?
He played well the other day.
He did.
Who you got? You got the Wars?
Yeah, I'm going to go the Wars. I like the Dragons. When they put it together, they're amazing.
How amazing is this? How quickly has the entire rugby league world adopted the term the Wars?
The Wars.
It's like a year.
Yeah.
Someone started calling them the Wars a year or so ago. Now, and I love it.
Yeah.
The Wars.
Have you heard a conversation yet where someone says, "Oh, the Warriors are playing this"? Sorry.
Who?
The Wars, yeah.
The Wars.
I don't think it's quite there, but it's getting there.
It's getting there.
I think the Dolphins will struggle with their
I think the Eels
available players.
Yeah, I think the
Darwin.
Eels.
Parramatta.
Still no flag.
Panthers should beat the Tigers, I would say.
Think so.
They're playing in Bathurst, taking that one on the road as well.
Yep.
Titans and Manly. I'm sorry, Desi, but gee whiz. I like what we saw, as we said earlier. Titans are finding something. I don't know if that something is going to do that for them this week.
Here it is. That's my upset for the round.
Okay, you're going to get Titans
I'm
on the board?
going to go Titans, and I'll tell you why, right? They were close to Manly on the weekend.
Yep.
And I kind of feel like surely against the Seagulls, Desi's going to have them breathing fire.
You'd think so.
So maybe that's my upset for the weekend.
Okay.
I'm not going to die on the hill, but I just figure there's going to be one in there that's a little bit off the norm, and that's the one I'm picking.
Okay, you heard it here first. Titans tragic, Johnny Manning. No, look, fair enough. Broncos, Raiders.
It's at Suncorp.
It is.
Broncos.
Canberra can really
they can
play
trouble
a game
the Broncos.
that troubles Brisbane big time.
If it was in Canberra, I was going to go the Raiders.
Okay, all right.
Well, who are you going?
I'm going to go the Broncos, but that's the way. If I was going to do one, that would be, but I'm not. I'm going to go the Broncos. Bulldogs and Nats. The Nats.
Oh, geez, this is another good one.
I got the Doggies here.
Do you?
I do, because I just think what they're showing. We all know how tough Ponga is, but he's just getting battered from pillar to post, I think, as well.
I'm going to go the Knights.
You like the Knights?
I see what you're saying. I think the Doggies are playing a better style of football.
Okay.
I think the bench of the Knights is better.
Yep. All right.
DSAF, Jack Hetherington. Yeah, I'm going to say the Knights. Yeah.
You like it? Okay.
Yeah. I don't.
Jeez, it was good to see Adokar in full flight as well.
3 meters.
Going.
We got one more game. What's the last game? Sharks Cow.
Sharks Cowboys.
Ooh-wee. What do you think?
I'm going to go the upset. If you call it an upset, I'm going to
upset?
say the Cowboys to bounce back. I think the Sharks would be favourites here, based on
Yeah.
So-
This is an interesting point. So on the extended bench, Jamal Shibasaki's been named. That's Gemet Shibasaki's little brother. He's still only 18. He's an Ignatius Park junior. I watched him play schoolboy footy. He's been I'm not saying he's tearing the Queensland Cup apart, but what he does is dominant.
Yep.
He's scoring tries almost every weekend. I think he might be leading the Q Cup in line breaks.
Okay.
He's a big mobile back rower.
Get him out there.
Yeah, and Jackson Purdy, the young kid from
You've
Mackay,
had raps on him.
He made his Queensland Cup debut. I'm gonna draw.
You're going to go draw. Second draw of the season.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep. I think that's a draw.
Can't split them. At Shark Park. All right.
You're going the Cows.
I'm going to go the Cowboys. I think, like you said, they could have been better last week. We all know it.
Yeah.
When they're good, they're bloody great.
So stop advertising.
Sorry.
We're not getting paid for that.
Yeah, that's true. This is the Grapple Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. What is it about young players in the North? We're going to talk to one of the great young debutantes from the North
maybe in
the coming weeks.
Well, he didn't debut. He was named to, but didn't do it.
Didn't actually debut.
Yeah,
That's right.
NRL stepped in and said,
Yeah. No,
no, bro.
We got enough shit to...
Still in nappies.
You're good. Okay, this is the Grapple Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, tell everyone you know. Johnny and I are slowly starting to learn how to use social media as well.
We just realised it's a thing.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It exists on computers too. That was quite a revelation.
On the
for
internet
me.
machine.
Yeah. So we'll keep working on that.
Yeah.
For now, happy tipping.
Happy tipping.
Hug it out.
Good job.